Welcome back to the garage, guys. You already know what it is. I'm Rob. Today we're gonna be focusing on this wiring mess right here. We're gonna try to re-loom it as best we can. Ideally, I should do this with the engine outside the car, but as I was hooking things up, I just didn't like how crusty the wiring harness looked. All these exposed wires and just the harness, like the sheathing is just kind of crusty. So I'm gonna do my best to sheave what I can and just fix up whatever I can get access to. I thought about taking the whole wiring harness out, but I decided against that because in the future we will be doing a standalone sometime in the future. So if I'm gonna pull it out, I might as well do it right now, but I'm not ready to do that right now. So for now, we'll clean up what we can clean up, clean off any connectors and all that. Let me show you what I got, and hopefully this should be good enough to get her done. So it's got some good old electrical tape, vinyl electrical tape. Should be good to wrap any of these wires. Two different sizes of like wiring loom or conduit, I guess. I got a bigger one just if we run into any bigger areas. And I also got some of these zip ties, cable ties that you can put into like bolt holes and stuff. So that should help with tightening everything up and making it look real nice and neat in the car. I'm probably just gonna clean this off with like some alcohol, like rubbing alcohol, wash it off because it evaporates real good, and go from there. So some of this stuff has like, I assume this is like heat shielding, and I don't have any heat shielding. I just have loom, so I'm probably not going to touch this. Leave the heat shielding. Anything with heat shielding I'm probably not going to touch. Leave it alone. Everything else though, like all of this, we'll fix all that. Exposed wires, try to clean some of these connectors up as best I can. Just things like that. So that's the plan as of right now, and we'll see how long this takes and where this video goes, and I'll update you guys later. Alright guys, I got this loom pretty good, if I do say so. It looks a lot cleaner. I got all the areas I could. There are some areas I just couldn't get to without taking the whole thing out. I got this one plugged in the back as an alternator back of the block. So we're gonna get this one all plugged in and hooked up, and then we'll move on to the next step, which will be this nice vacuum block. So after I get all the wires plugged in, we're gonna install this right about there. And this is really nice because instead of teeing off all your vacuum lines that we need, they're all going to go into here, and I think it'll look a lot cleaner and just look nicer overall. So pretty inexpensive part. I think this was like 30 bucks off eBay. You guys know how we do it around here, budget build. So we'll see how it goes. Should be pretty easy install of that. But for now, I'm just going to finish getting this all cleaned up, routing them, getting the wires good, all plugged in, and we should be good to go. So enjoy the time lapse, and I'll see you when we're ready to install the vacuum block. Alright, so I got pretty much everything plugged in that can be plugged in. These go into the intake manifold. This is our fuel rail, and this goes to our power steering AC, and this is some type of O2 sensor, I believe. Everything else is pretty much plugged in. I do need to get a replacement clip for this. I broke it. It's old. It happens. I also broke the one right here, which goes in the transmission. So I need to get replacement for that. These also go into our intake manifold. So, but before we need to put the intake manifold on, I need to get that vacuum block installed so that we have enough room to drill and all that stuff. So let's do that next, and we should be good. I got these routed as best I can. I don't remember how OEM went. My concern is with over here. I bought these zip ties that, like, you know, like put them into holes, you connect them to your chassis. It's really nice. So I put this one in this hole over here, but it is uncomfortably, I don't know if you guys can see this, uncomfortably close to the timing belt. Like, I could barely fit a finger in between them, so I need to try to zip tie that up out the way, or maybe just move that side altogether somewhere else. But all this is pretty good. This is zip tied up, and it's got the little thing right here for the wires. I am missing a transmission clip, but I already got that ordered for the ship linkage. So I think we're good, because this goes into the intake manifold. This is our fuel rail. The only thing I don't know, I have no idea what this hose goes to, guys. It is a vacuum hose, I believe. I believe it goes to the for the cruise control, but I'm not 100% sure. But other than that, I'm pretty confident I got everything plugged in where it goes. It was actually pretty easy, as if it doesn't go there, it doesn't fit. The plug won't plug into it. So let's get that vacuum block installed, and we should be good to go. And you know, when you do this vacuum block, you have this side right here, which is what will go into your intake, and this we're going to put inner intake. I hope this is the same threads. I didn't even check, so if not, we'll probably have to buy a new fitting that's like this. But what you're going to be replacing is you're going to be replacing this where your vacuum lines would go to. So hopefully this fits in there, and then we'll run one vacuum line to the vacuum block, and then all the other lines will go into the bottom of the vacuum block with these fittings. Same thing, just a little smaller. And there is, I believe this one is for 6. And then if you don't have them, you can just use these block off plates. So it's really nice, should be super easy to install. We're going to just drill some holes and then put a insert in so we can thread some bolts in. So let's get into that. Let's get her done and see you guys in the next clip. Just like that, guys, our vacuum block is installed. She ain't going nowhere. What I used was little rivet inserts from Harbor Freight, simple tool. I went and bought these screws, bolts, whatever you want to call them, socket screw. And I used 9x39 drill bit. I couldn't tell you the size of this one. It's the second biggest. And it worked out just fine. That's not going nowhere. So now that that's mocked up, we can put the other things on, but we're gonna get this intake manifold on. I need to get this in because I wouldn't have enough room to drill and all that. So let's get this intake manifold on with a little bit of YouTube magic. Alright guys, Got the intake manifold on. Got mostly everything plugged in, besides a few that are broke, but I got those ordered. This ground actually goes right here where your throttle cable goes. I just have to get the hardware for that, either find mine or buy new hardware. This is also how this actually routes this way and connects to these bolts here. I just need to get like them zip ties I can go over bolts like how it was. I don't know if I can find any of those. And so yeah, pretty good with that. This route's up through here. I don't know how I feel about this, but this is the way in the book it said it goes. So I don't know if I'll try to reroute this a different way or just leave it for now. I did get my ship linkage clip, so that's all squared away. So I think what we're gonna do now is put the AC condenser and the power steering pump on to see if it will fit with our turbo setup. I don't think it will, to be honest, but I'm just gonna try it. I do plan to delete the AC, but this is pressurized and I have no safe way to depressurize it right now, so I'm just kind of stuck with it for now. I do want to keep my power steering at like all costs though. That's definitely a must for me. I don't really use AC, so I care less about that. So let's get all that mocked up and get the intake on, and hopefully it fits, and if not, we'll just go from there. Alright guys, so as you can see, I do not have the AC or the power steering hooked up. I did get this bracket hooked up, and the two problems we're running into is I hooked this bracket up and I wanted to make sure the manifold would fit on with the bracket, and it does. It does not touch this bracket. The problem is it does touch the starter. The turbo itself touches the starter. So I think I need to take these wires and like put them on this side of the starter and then rotate the turbo as well, because it's not in its final spot. It's just mocked up. So hopefully that clears that. The reason I didn't put the power steering pump on is I still need to get this bolt, and I need the hardware to actually put the power steering on. I need to either find it or go buy new hardware. Now the biggest problem I'm running into is for the AC bracket that goes down here. I believe it goes one in this hole, one in that hole, and then one in this hole, one in this hole. I believe that's how it goes. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's where it sits. And the problem is it's not lining up with this hole because it is hitting our oil return for our turbo. So this is it's a big deal, because I can't just take this out because it's pressurized like I mentioned before. And my idea is to just mock it up, get it bolted down. I could take it to a shop, they could depressurize it, and then I can unhook everything, because I really don't run AC anyways, and it'll just clean this whole area up. So I need to figure something out for that. So I'm gonna kind of just leave the video at this because I want to make sure I get it edited. So I'm gonna end the video there because, like I said, I want to get everything done for you guys, get this edited and out, because I don't know when I'll be able to get that hardware, and I gotta figure something out for that. So hopefully next video I'll either figure it out in that video or have it done before that video. So as always guys, really appreciate you watching. Make sure you like, comment, share. That would help a lot. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Once we get to 100 subscribers, we're gonna up the quality on the videos. We're gonna get a new camera and hopefully improve the quality. I hope the audio is a little better. Should have got better at some point during this video because I did buy a new microphone. So other than that guys, as always, stay positive and catch you in the next one.